Wendy Harman, the social media director for the American Red Cross. Wendy, tell us a little bit about the decision-making process for how you decide what goes online and when it goes online.
Well, it's not rocket science. I'll tell you that I am not a huge fan of the editorial calendar myself, although it's somewhat of a necessary evil in that we do use it for established marketing campaigns, but that I don't consider even being a tiny percentage of what the real work of content creation is. And what that is listening and reflecting back to your audience exactly what they want to hear and being informed by them every single day. So we leave a lot of room to create content on the fly that is responsive and reflects exactly what people are talking about during that particular moment.
So how do you work with staff then, particularly maybe junior staff, so that they know what the right thing to say is? Because you really are leaving a lot up to judgment, but judgment is not something you just walk in the door, work for the American Red Cross and instantly have. So how do you do that?
Well, we hope that you do, but also, I mean, judgment is a key part of working at a nonprofit. But we do a ton of internal training, so we are constantly giving people lessons in how to use Twitter and encouraging them to try it on their own first and have, become a subject matter expert themselves with their personal account on Twitter and really, cultivate their existing relationships on sites like Facebook. So we're teaching them how to use these tools all the time, and as I've said in the past, it's like explaining to someone how to drive a stick shift. You can listen to someone explain it over and over again, but until you actually feel with your own feet that engagement point between the clutch and the gas, you don't know how to do it. And so it just takes practice, and so that's what we try to encourage everybody to do, and that's the philosophy of the American Red Cross. Every single person is a spokesperson, so they have to have that judgment, and we want them to play around and be free and say what's on their mind.
So when you show up at work on any given day, okay, based on, I know, but just humor me. When you show up at work, based on what you know happened yesterday, give me a rough ballpark for sort of what percentage of what you're going to put online you sort of know you're going to be talking about that topic, and how much of it is completely on your feet reacting to what you actually see that day.
It totally depends on the day and sometimes on the time of year. So we have two really important marketing campaigns that we do each year, one for actually right now in March for March's Red Cross Month and another in year end. So during that time we know pretty well, unless a major disaster happens, exactly what we're going to be saying, although we still always leave room. That's the time when we're the most rigid. And the rest of the other times that we're pretty rigid are when a major disaster happens. So in the case of the Japan earthquake, we have a bunch of standard operating procedures. So every situation is different, but we do things in almost the same way every time, which is, we immediately stick someone in front of a camera, just like you've done to me right now, to explain, acknowledge that there's been a disaster, and we try to be really fast about saying, we know that something awful has happened, we don't know a ton about it yet, but we will be there and we'll let you know as soon as we do exactly what we're doing. And, we immediately start populating with any kind of data we can get on our newsroom and our blog and on Facebook and on Twitter. And so those are the times when we're pushing information much more and that's when people are hungry for it. But when there's not a major disaster, people don't care as much, they're not as hungry for that information, so what we really try to do is pay attention to our stakeholders and give them the spotlight and let them share their experiences and talk about what they want to talk about.
Great. Thanks so much, Wendy.
Thank you.